Did you know that animals played a significant role in the future of nations? Back when Rome was being attacked by the Gauls in 390 BC, the Romans were awakened by cackling geese and ended up defeating the invaders. Basically, Rome was saved by geese. Now, in another strange twist of fate, history is about to repeat itself.
Summer 1780. General George Washington and his Continental Army have been waging a war of independence from British rule. He and his ragtag team of soldiers camp just outside of Philadelphia. They know the Redcoats are planning an imminent attack, but they are missing a critical piece of intelligence. They don't know when. Meanwhile, a local girl is gathering walnuts in a grove of trees when she stumbles upon a Continental soldier lying on the path, badly wounded. He's just uncovered the British plans. The Redcoats are preparing to attack with a huge army, and they're on the march now. They'll be on the path any moment. General Washington must be alerted, but the soldier is too wounded to continue on his horse. Handing the intelligence information to the young girl, he urges her to take it to General Washington.
Hey, my horse, go, hurry.
The girl grabs a big stick and jumps on the horse. She knows something the British don't. The path is lined with beehives. As she gallops along, she knocks each beehive until the bees become a big black buzzing cloud. By the time the British arrive, they're ambushed. Not by the Yankees, by the bees. The American troops were saved. It's reported that Washington told the girl, "Neither you nor your bees shall be forgotten when our country is at peace again." It was the cackling geese that saved Rome, but it is the bees that have saved America.
Wow, bees may not be saving America, but they're making life a little sweeter for all of us. Bees are amazing. In fact, right now, all around us, there are tiny little miracles taking place.
You are now listening to the wings of a honeybee flapping at 200 beats per second. This kind of wing power helps the bee clock speeds of up to 15 miles an hour. Part of a hub of activity that makes them the most productive insect on Earth. Here's an example. Consider what kind of work goes into making 1 pound of honey that ends up on your kitchen table. It takes 556 bees, flying a total of 55,000 miles, to gather nectar from an astounding 2 million flowers to make a single pound of honey. This production system includes male drone bees, who primarily mate, and female worker bees who create wax, honey, and do most of the other work. And a bee colony can be 20 to 60,000 bees. To keep this kingdom buzzing will require a queen, and a royal job she has. She will lay an impressive 175,000 to 200,000 eggs per year. And through one of the most sophisticated communication designs ever, she will constantly get information on the condition of the hive. Pheromones, or chemicals, are passed from bee to bee, and when the report reaches the queen, she will know every detail of the kingdom. She can then lay eggs that meet the current needs of the hive. Enter this kingdom and you will see more than just pure honey. You will see pure genius. For 2,000 years, mathematicians and architects have studied and marveled at the bees' engineering skill. First, take a look at their construction technique. Bees use a six-sided polygon called the hexagon as the building block for their hives. This geometric shape provides the strongest structure possible to store honey, as well as creates the maximum amount of space with a minimum amount of material. As the bees fill it with honey, it is evenly distributed over three sides. A triangle or square wouldn't work nearly as well as the hexagon. This shape can hold the most volume and quantity of honey for the amount of wax they use. And the craftsmanship of each hexagon is truly amazing. Each angle has to be mathematically precise for the comb to fit together perfectly. But there's more. Take a look at the architecture of the honeycomb. 2 of the 6 sides are always vertical, and every hexagon tube is angled at an incline of 9 to 14 degrees toward the center of the honeycomb. This tilted construction keeps the honey from spilling out. Bees are remarkable architects and brilliant engineers. They build nothing by chance. Evolution theory teaches that nature experiments until it comes up with the most efficient design. But here's the problem. If one design didn't work, say it couldn't hold honey or the nursery design couldn't keep the bees alive, the bees wouldn't be able to survive even 1 generation, and the species would not have survived. If the bees had to evolve a perfect design, then you would expect to have fossilized examples of early bees constructing various honeycombs that failed. But they simply don't exist. And where do they get this knowledge? All bees must have this skill from birth for the hive to function properly. Without it, they'd be doomed. Instead, bees have this God-given ability from the beginning. The honeycomb was precisely engineered by bees with the end use in mind. Nothing inefficient, nothing left over. Evolution can't explain the honeycombs. It is nothing short of incredible.
So bees are architects and engineers, but there's more. Scientists have recently discovered that bees have some pretty sweet dance moves of their own. I'm serious. It's not just for entertainment, it's how they talk to each other.
When a bee finds a good source of food, she flies back home to the hive with the new information. First, she distributes samples of the pollen she's discovered so her audience knows what kind of flower they're trying to find. And then, she performs a remarkable dance. With this dance, she is actually giving the other bees GPS coordinates to the flower's location. 2 dances are used. In the round dance, she travels in loops, in alternating directions. This means the food is close by. The faster the round dance, the more the food. The figure 8 dance, otherwise known as the waggle, shows her fellow bees how far they have to fly to get the food and what they will find when they get there. By the angle she dances, she's communicating which direction they need to fly and recreates the angle of the sun in relation to the flowers. How? Each bee has at least 2 tools that we know about. One is a built-in solar compass. This tells her where flowers are in relation to the sun. The other tool is an internal clock, which keeps track of how far she flies. So with these 2 tools, this incredible dance gives all of the bees precise coordinates where to find a supply of food. Now, dancing bees create a dilemma for evolution. First, how did the bees develop this skill? It's a critical ability needed for supplying directions to fresh food. Evolution theory can never argue that random chaos created this complex system. It's very sophisticated communication. Communication is a 2-way activity. Both parties have to understand each other. That means a bee's eyes and brain had to develop at the same time so they could see and interpret the dance. It is not likely that a bee's eyes and brain developed at 2 separate times. The dance is designed right into the bee, and so is the ability to understand the dance.
Incredible. There's a dancing bee for you. But there's one more thing about bees that's simply remarkable, and we saved the best for last. Check this out.
In a research study, scientists at Royal Holloway, University of London, found what could be one of the most amazing discoveries ever about bees. Bees are incredible, unimaginable mathematicians. It all started with something called the traveling salesman problem. Imagine this. You're a traveling salesman and you want to visit every house in this neighborhood. Your job is to find the best route possible to all of these houses in the shortest amount of time. Sounds easy. It's not. There are hundreds of combinations, but only one is the shortest route. Now imagine you're a bee. You've entered a field of millions of flowers. Your job is to find the most efficient route to visit all of the flowers in the shortest amount of time. And oh, your brain is only the size of a seed of grass. The mathematical calculations here are so difficult, it takes supercomputers days to do them. In the study, bees were shown to have figured out this enormous math problem. And they do it every day, and correctly every time. For the bee, math class is always in session, and scientists continue to wonder how this tiny insect can solve such huge complex problems without a computer. Scientists concluded in their study that bees remarkably have effectively solved the traveling salesman problem. Honeybees are the only insects that provide food eaten by man. And golden honey is filled with substances necessary to sustain life, including enzymes, vitamins, minerals, and water, and provide an excellent source of energy. And honey never spoils, as its enzymes protect it from mold and bacteria. God's stunning design of bees teach us so many life lessons. Each is created for a specific purpose. They are eternal optimists, share what they've learned, and always work for the benefit of others. They are truly tiny miracles, and should remind us that so are we.
That's the incredible bee for you, the creature that saved America. These tiny insects are a giant architect, an engineer, and mathematician, as well as great dancers. Oh, and did I mention excellent chefs?